I'm Brad with Years of Years, and it's This Day in Disney for February 5th.
February 5th.
Trucking along.
Yeah, and these Neverlanders are
Yes.
here on a celebratory day.
Yeah, today is an exciting day. Usually I'm the one who wears like exciting ears and things like that, but today it's you. You stole that hat, didn't you?
Well, this Peter Pan hat right here even has a sticker that we got from the man-child himself and adorns this hat. So this is our beloved Peter Pan hat. Miles obviously has embroidered his name on the back. So little guest appearance from Miles.
Embroidered, that's
Indeed.
right. Where you go over at the
right in the town square.
Yeah. Haberdashery.
Yeah.
Yes. So the reason why Brad is adorned in this wonderful hat today is because back in 1953, Disney's 14th animated film, but the studio's 20th feature film, Peter Pan, based on James Barrie's 1904 story, opens at the Roxy Theatre in New York.
It does.
Yeah, so it opened in New York, not out in Los Angeles. That's kind of interesting, huh? Yeah, but that did occur. There were some other films that opened at the Roxy and over in New York as well. But very interesting because this was the 14th film, and actually Walt wanted it to be the second. Yeah, so he wanted to do this film right away, right after Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So it's kind of crazy that it took so long.
And yet,
there was some
glad that it did.
Who
knows what it would have looked like? And I love the way it looks.
Yeah, well, to start, it was really the getting the rights to it. So that took a bit of time. The action film rights were held by Paramount Pictures. The copyright owner, the Hospital for the Sick Children in London, unsuccessfully offered to have Disney make an agreement with Paramount. So I'm not really sure why that didn't.
They wanted the movie to be made.
Yeah, Disney. So, however, in '39, Disney obtained the animation rights to the play by outbidding Fleischer Studios.
There you go.
Which was also developing an animated feature film, so good thing they got it. So by the early 39, they had the story reel. They were like gearing and ready to go, and they even had started to pick out different animators to work on specific characters, like Vladimir Tytla with the pirates, Norman Ferguson went for Nana the dog, and Fred Moore was going to be working on Tinkerbell. But then unfortunately, before we even go there, like Walt Disney had ideas about the story. Like, he didn't want to just follow the book with this one, and he really, like, it, some people even criticize that it doesn't follow the book enough, but you know, he talked about starting off in Neverland and then going and kidnapping Wendy to be the mother.
Not our Wendy bird.
Yeah, so that seemed too dark, and they dropped that one. So really good that they dropped that, I think.
And yet that is exactly what the tale of Neverland is.
Yeah, so that would have been sticking, I guess, more to the story. But also telling Peter's backstory and things like that. But like you were about to talk about, following, you know, the bombing of Pearl Harbor, boom, then
disrupted
the studio was turned over to make the propaganda cartoons and stuff, so they couldn't produce any of their stuff. And that must have been super frustrating.
Having been waited since making the second film to the 14th and being sidelined. In addition to other things going on.
So anyway, they had to wait again. And I mean, I think like this would have been a totally different story if they had gotten to do it, boom, as the second film. I don't know how different.
I just think it would have looked too much like the Silly Symphonies with, like, you know, the way that they did, you know, hose forms for that. And I'm so glad that it happened when it did.
Yeah, but this is almost 10 years. Oh, it's over 10 years before they actually released it. So, yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, because it would have been it could have been fine. But so happy to have it.
I don't know. We have it now. So, and obviously it got to be made well before.
And it's so popular. I mean, usually the longest wait time at Magic Kingdom.
Right.
I mean,
which I don't know if that has to do with the film or the ride or which it is.
I think it's just our
hearts.
hearts.
We were always surprised, weren't we, when we first would see those wait times.
Everyone loves the principle of never growing up.
Yeah.
And they want to drink from that fountain of youth, which is the Peter Pan ride in Florida.
They did such a good job with
Ponce
this
de
particular
Leon, it's the Peter Pan ride.
Dark ride. I just love the story of the first time they did it. First they have you flying, which is amazing. And the first time they ran it over in Disneyland, one of the boats, flying boat? I guess we're a flying boat when we're in it. It actually, the couple were in it and it felt it like slid to the ground. And remember they got off and they were like, can we do this again? They loved it.
Oh,
so I'd like
That's
to
like
know
just
that
the
couple.
other day we were going into Winnie the Pooh and we found out how to get a fast pass. Basically you have to be standing right there, ready to get on the ride. But someone got their foot caught in the ride right there. Yeah. And, it was really amazing, to see, like, them, like, spring into action and all the steps that had to take place.
Right. Lots had to take place. And it was, like, to us, it's like, not a big deal. Just open it up and get her foot out. But they take a lot of time to meticulously make sure.
And actually, for safety.
We went and ate a full meal and then rode Big Thunder Mountain before we went back, and they had just reopened it. Yeah. And we don't know if it had been closed down that
multiple times.
time.
Or, it might have been the whole time.
Yeah. So anyway, they take a lot of time to make sure things are right with the ride. So I don't know. I found a lot of comfort in that, especially I'm not scared.
Well, what I was gonna say
is
that the same way that the people were totally fine with the mishap of the sliding boat. These people were totally fine.
Oh yeah, they were so sweet. They were like, "Don't worry."
So,
yeah,
everybody knows
sweet.
we're there
Everybody
to play. Not to make Disney pay.
No. So let's talk about the animation of the characters, because some really big names animated certain characters, like Milt Kahl wanted to animate Captain Hook, but instead was assigned to Peter Pan. So that was kind of interesting because, and he claimed he was outmaneuvered. So I wonder if that happened quite a bit with vying for who they wanted to, to animate. Frank Thomas animated Captain Hook, and then Ollie Johnston animated Smee, and those two guys. So they worked together.
I have to admit
with Smee and Captain Hook. I like that.
I have to admit that the concept of people being assigned to characters was something that I learned only in the recent past.
Yeah.
Like, I never thought of it. I just thought of everybody working on the whole thing together. Not that they would be assigned to characters. It makes so much sense, and I enjoy watching the films so much more now to see each character and know that they're being animated by different artists. It's so fun.
So Margaret Carey, she actually she came and performed as Tinkerbell, so they could base Tinkerbell off of a real life person to get her to look more real life, and she does. There's actually some clips of her talking about that, so it's really cute. I love that they did things like that to just get that authentic real life look.
And there's no one else we'd rather have on the wire. Yeah. And there's, meaning from Cinderella's castle at the end of the night. And, just faith, trust, and pixie dust. I mean, that phrase has kept so many of us going through 2020 and even to today. Yes. It's a great contribution to our culture.
I do look up at that wire and say, oh, Tinkerbell needs to practice. She needs to get out there soon. That's not an easy job.
It's gonna be this year. She's gonna be back.
Yeah.
We have that to look forward to in 2021.
You can feel it?
Yeah.
All right, so starring Bobby Driscoll is Peter Pan. Did you know that?
I didn't, but it doesn't surprise me.
Bobby Driscoll. And then Kathryn Beaumont was Wendy. So those are like the bigger names that we did. But there was also Hans Conried, and Paul Collins and Tommy Lusk. So those were bigger names back then for the film also. So I don't know if they would have had as big a names if they had just done it right after Snow White either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Well, I'd have to look at the history of the Mickey Mouse Club, because obviously a lot of those talents were pulled from there. Yeah. So I think they might have had it. I don't know. Yeah.
But the music is really good for the film too. I like all the songs, most of the songs. But we were going to talk about Disney Plus right now, and how they've kind of changed things up, and they have this as something that children under seven and under, on their account, they can't watch this film without, you can watch it as
an adult.
If you want to let your kid watch it, that's fine. You can do that. It's not taken off there. But I mean, we were talking
out of
about
all the films,
this is the one that, I mean, it's a little rough with the
lyrics
songs.
Of, and just kind of like
Native Americans,
just explaining the actual pigmentation and like putting them in compromising situations that caused it. It is. Even
the song at the time, and I think if they were to do it now, they probably would. Well, not probably. They would not have done it that way at all.
So while it can be sad to see some of these titles relegated, this is one that we understand. But I mean, in positive thing, I just wanted to share one thing. Like, not Disney, there is a campaign setting by Andrew Kolb, and it is a Neverland setting. That if you enjoy tabletop games or Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing at all, 5th edition is the current one, this is written for it. And it takes Neverland into the future. You find out about Wendy and Peter and like what's going on, and Michael and what's going on. It's a wonderful, non-Disney, but an opportunity to travel to Neverland. And I'll put a link down below in the description. But I just wanted to say that because Neverland is alive and well by so many artists. And this one really gives you an opportunity to go there and experience it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but Peter Pan going forward, there's all those fairy movies that they did and children's books, but and Disney fairies, and then of course Peter Pan is in the parks and in the parades and things like that when you're at Disney World. I mean, Tink's right on her giant chest of gold right now, leading the.
Right. But what about all those movies the Tinkerbell movies? Like our girls, especially our younger daughter. I thought you were already mentioning them. You said the fairy movie. Right. Yeah. Well, our younger daughter really enjoyed a lot of those Tinkerbell films. So I have seen some of them with
Secret
her.
of the Lost Treasure. And
they're not bad. They're pretty fun. Yeah. Yeah, they're interesting. So Tinkerbell was we had a big fan of Tinkerbell in our house too.
She's so popular.
Not just Peter Pan.
All over the world.
Yeah. And, there's some interesting story lore with Peter Pan and just in other shows and things where he's a darker character too.
And whenever you go through the queue of the Peter Pan's flight, there is the picture of him where he's up on the rooftop shortly before he's going into the nursery. And you can see the menacing darkness of the yellow in his eyes. So they still let it shine a little bit.
Yeah, I find him a little bit of a scary individual.
He is. And he really is
his concepts
very self-interested.
Too. Yeah, he is.
Mean, he will abandon everyone in an instant.
Yeah, even in the cartoon, it's, I mean, he ends up doing what's right always, for the most part.
Yeah.
Right?
He's very questionable. He's an anti-hero, but we love him because of the promise of not aging and always having our youth. Yeah. So it's kind of an interesting trickster.
You gotta wonder, it's about Peter Pan, but it's also really a story about Wendy. It is. Her, having to grow up and not wanting to leave the nursery and kind of she's definitely smart and she's taking care of her brothers and she's already kind of got that mother role. She's grown up in so many ways.
She's a perfect fit for the lost boys who need one.
Right? But at the same time, her heart just yearns for all the fun that she's had as a child and to continue that childhood fun. And I think that's what I kind of love about Wendy. Because I think I feel that way. I have no desire to be a super grown-up,
She's our Wendy bird right here.
Maybe a little bit.
I love taking flight with you.
Except I'm not interested in getting attacked by those mermaids. I don't know. They're pretty naughty.
Stay away from them.
Yeah, but this is a great film. We love it, and a great ride.
How long has it been since you watched it? You could change that this weekend.
Yeah, so who out there are big Peter Pan fans? We want to hear about it. Tell us what you love about Peter Pan and...
Never grow up in Neverland.
Yeah, and all the things, all the times you've dressed up for... These are pretty reoccurring costumes and things like that. So lots of fun.
Share.
Definitely share, and we will see you guys next time.